I'm Fentress Fountain, your host of Talk Today, and today we are joined by the owner of Get Porch Salon, Miss Porschia Wimbush. First off, thank you for coming down to the show and speaking with me.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
So she is incredibly busy, always booked up, which is a great sign, ladies. So if you're looking for an excellent stylist, you have her right here. But she's going to talk to us about the growth. She started off in Hickory, but obviously, before you owned your own salon, you were, in the chair somewhere else.
Yes.
Tell me about that process.
Yeah, I actually worked at a salon in Hickory first, and what I was thinking, I was like, dang, how am I going to grow? And me just working behind the chair, I knew I didn't want to do that all the time. So I was like, let me go to school, and I want to learn behind the scenes. Never wanting my own salon, but I was like, let me just see how it's going to be. Let me learn behind the scenes. I went to school, I did only one semester, and I took 5 classes of online. It was the most dreadful semester of my life. And after that first semester, I did business entrepreneurship. After that first semester, they kept asking me, all the classes kept asking me the same question. Make a business plan. If you don't have a business plan, just make up stuff. And at first I was just putting in, false information, just making it sound good. Then I was like, Porschia, why don't you really put in real information? So I started putting in Get Porch Salon, this, and this. And it just started to come to fruition. At the end of that one semester, I had my own salon in Hickory, and that was all she wrote. Yeah.
What is the scariest part? Now, obviously, I've been in your chair quite a few times, and I always ask the same question. How did you know to just say, okay, I'm going to leave behind, my 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, but I'm going to leave behind the chair, and I'm going to do my own chair?
Yes.
How do you just step out on faith and just say, okay, this is it, this is what I'm going to do?
I never felt it before, but I remember I worked at a call center. I was there for like 2 or 3 years, and I remember I started to want to work my way up in the call center. I wanted to become team lead, supervisor. It was a feeling that once I started that process, I was like, Porschia, this is not what you want to do. And it was just a click. I started calling around schools. I was trying to actually do both, the 9 to 5 and do my part-time schooling. None of the schools offered part-time, so I was like, dang. So I decided to take it full time, and I stepped out on a leap of faith. I put in my 2-week notice, and I asked my supervisor, I was like, can I come back if I need to? And he was like, yeah. And when I was walking out, I was crying, but I was like, Lord, please don't let me have to go back. And I never had to go back. I just took that first step, and ever since then, I do that with every situation in my life. It's like, if I'm comfortable, and that means nothing is changing. And sometimes I pray, God, get me uncomfortable. I'm ready for change. And when it starts to get uncomfortable and rocky, that's when I know that something good is about to happen.
So talk about that aspect. You are in Charlotte now, in a larger market.
Yes.
Talk about keeping your same clientele. Were you worried at all about, okay, I'm leaving from Hickory, where you have the Lenore, you have Morganton, I'm going all the way to Charlotte, even though it's only an hour. For some people, they're just like, okay, I'm not going to go that far to get my hair done. So were you afraid of that? And what has it been like? Have you kept most of your clientele?
Well, you know what? When it was nothing but God again, I'm to keep saying that, but it really was. I just started to look around, and I was like, Charlotte, I never even thought about Charlotte, honestly. I remember that I was looking for another place to live first, and my grandparents, they didn't have a car, and I did a lot for them. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay in the area because my grandparents need me. One day my grandma called me and she was like, Porschia, I got a loan, I'm gonna get me a car. I was like, no, you're not. She really did, and it's like, it was a sign, like God was like, okay, what's your next excuse?
Right.
So I'm like, wow, okay, so she got a car, they don't need me as much, let me just broaden my search. And I just started looking for a home, found one in Charlotte, and I moved there. I was driving back and forth. And I never, at that point, still didn't think that I was gonna move my actual salon to Charlotte either. But then I was driving back and forth. At the beginning of something new, you're excited, like, oh, I don't mind this hour drive, this is nothing. Every day, no, it became something. So I was like, well, let me just start looking at salon spaces. I only went to one place, which is where I'm at now. And when I went there, it was much smaller than what I was used to. And the guy was like, if you want to do this, you have to do this. But it's only this small room. And I was like, dang, y'all don't have something bigger? And he told me, he was like, well, we have one in the front. He was like, but it's really expensive. And I was like, dang, can I see it? Can I at least see it? I went and saw the space, and I was like, dang, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be this one. But dang, I'm going to have to really get so small into this area. But then once I got into the space, I didn't really think much about I kept asking my clients if they would move. I kept asking every client, would y'all come? Would y'all come visit me? And everybody was like, yes. I never in a million years would have thought that I would gain as many clients that I have in Charlotte. That hashtagging is like the number one thing that I would suggest, because hashtagging CLT or Charlotte, they come out of the woodworks. People drive 2 and 3 hours, and it really baffles me, because I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But I'm not nervous anymore.
Well, I want to talk about that also. You are different than a lot of stylists. There are some private salons, but from the get-go, even when you were in Hickory, it was always, okay, your appointment time is this. And whenever she says her appointment time is this, that's what she means. If you were 10 minutes late, you're getting canceled. Yes. So make sure you get that.
Yes. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me.
No, but
follow policy.
I think that separates you from a lot of beauticians just because it is so professional. It's a private salon, and people feel more comfortable, and they know that they can still get their hair done and then get on with their lives and get moving.
Yes, we all want to be business. We're all business owners. We all are about our business, and that's the type of clientele that I like. I don't like people that want to come and sit down in the salon all day, because I'm not trying to sit there and look at you, and I'm sure you're not trying to look at me all day. So, but yeah, no, it's all about being professional. I want people to get in, get out, and we just keep the flow going. If someone is late over 10 minutes, that's actually, cutting into somebody else's time. Right. That means I'm gonna have to rush on the service, which I don't like to rush. I like to just do what I need to do to make you look and feel good, okay?
And let's talk about that, going all the way back before you even started doing hair, for other people as well. What got you interested? Why is the health of hair so important to you?
Man, when I was growing up, God, Lord, my mom used to do the most craziest styles on my hair when I was in elementary, middle school. I had no say, really. And so I would go to school, I would get picked on, get called all types of names, Skittles, Monster, just weird stuff. And I'm like, God dang, I could not wait till I was able to start doing my own hair. Come end of middle school, high school, I moved to Hickory, and I started messing in my hair. I was doing colors, I was doing braids, all types of things, frying my hair. It was terrible. So I went from having like a small amount of hair to no, this is not it. And I got more into the natural. The natural feel started to come through, and or the natural wave started to come through, and that's what I set on. I was like, I want to be natural, and I want to have healthy hair, and I just pride myself on that, and that's what I want everybody else to have. We all wear extensions, we all like color, but you want to have healthy hair underneath that, because once all of that stuff is gone, what do you have,
Right.
And that's what I want everybody to feel.
And so, from someone watching right now, what would you encourage them to do if they're sitting there and they're just like, okay, my hair is fried, I don't want to be natural, I'm scared to be natural because I don't know what to do with my natural hair, because a lot of people, like myself, are on YouTube trying to figure it out.
Of course.
What would you encourage them to do? What the first step to, navigating to healthy hair?
Absolutely. Well, the first step is not paying attention to everything on YouTube, because not everyone is a professional. They are just trying stuff out, and then you try it out too, and it's gonna end up the same results. That is the first step. Second step is, actually, people don't realize that, or they feel like I'm very expensive, but honestly, I don't want to see my clients every week or every 2 weeks. I prefer to see people 4 weeks, 6 weeks, quarterly. You only have to invest in your hair at least once a quarter. That's 4 times a year, and you can have healthy hair. In between time, I'll talk to you about protective styling and things that you can do in between time, but you don't have to come all the time, spend so much money. You spend $100, every quarter. How much is that? That's $400 a week. $400 a year.
Yep.
That's nothing. But I would definitely suggest seeking a professional help. You can also do like a consultation, in-person consultation. I talk to people all the time. And then we can go over different remedies and things that you could do to have your hair healthy.
All right then.
Yes.
And outside of Get Portia, obviously Portia is the same person, Get Portia, but
Telling you.
outside of the chair,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about your personality. What keeps people coming back? Because I will speak on that. Whenever I'm there, I feel like I'm not only getting my hair done, but I'm also getting therapy.
I know.
Yes.
Everybody says the same thing. All my friends, you should ask them. If we're outside and say if I take a shot, we start drinking, we start having a good time. What am I gonna do? I am going to start preaching. That is what I do. I'm like, hey, what do you want to do in life? What are we trying to do? How are you trying to do better? What are your goals? This and that. That's the stuff that I like to talk about with my friends and the things that we got going on. We're not sitting there gossiping and, oh girl, what is this and that? No, we have no care about anybody else. It's all about ourselves and what we're trying to do in this future and make some money and live happy, healthy, and safe.
What has been, I guess, the most satisfying part of being a business owner, watching the process going from 2017 at GPS Hickory to now in Charlotte? You know, what has been the most satisfactory feeling?
The most satisfactory feeling is that I am still thriving. I am very thankful to God that I am still thriving. I'm still sought after, and people still want to come get Porsche. That's the most amazing feeling.
Right then. And how do you balance family life with hair life? I know you're only off on Mondays, and even for the weekends, it's a VIP service if you want. If you want Saturday, you got to be a VIP. So, you know, you're constantly moving. Everybody's constantly wanting you. So how do you balance time for just Portia herself as opposed to Get Porsche?
Well, come Monday is it's about to start again. The week is about to start. I program my mind and I'm like, let's get back to it. Let's get back to business. So Tuesday through Saturday, it is nothing but business. My family, my friends, we all know that. They probably won't see me throughout the week because it's all about business. Come Saturday, it's like I'm starting to wind down and I'm like, oh snap, it's the weekend. What are we gonna do? I like to balance. I am so headstrong about having a great work-life balance, because if you work all the time, you'll end up getting burnt out, and I don't want that. So I make sure that I turn up and I have a great time on the weekends. I have to see my friends and my family every weekend.
All right. Well, everyone, you just heard from Miss Portia Winbush telling you her success story and where she is now. But for everyone watching, again, give us the location where you're at, along with the phone number and website. How do they book?
Yes, I'm in Charlotte. The address is 12335 North Community House Road, Charlotte, NC 28277. My
phone number?
My phone number is 828-381-6117. You can text me if you need any info. But I would suggest going on the website, which is www.getporschesalon.com. You can book, you can view pricing, availability, all of that in one.